What's up guys, it's Kevin from K-Squared Fitness, and today I'm going to walk through my man Adam through the ring muscle up, and he's been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm going to have him test it first, and then we're going to walk through this whole process together, what you would do after you've established a good amount of strict pulling strength, and we'll start to work on skills and drills on the rings, and then we'll put him back up on there and see what happens. So without giving him any instruction, I'm going to have him give it a go and see what it looks like first. All right, common problem is what he did is he didn't get up and then get a big sit up. Now we're gonna reverse engineer everything and we'll go through here. All right, dude. So, what's up guys, I wanted to interrupt this video real quick to remind you to smash that subscribe button. Let's get back to the video. So first thing you wanna get in the habit of is when you're learning is the false grip. So Katie, come on over here. False grip is gonna be right deep down in here. And the difference is, you guys saw when he missed his muscle up, it's because when he got right here, he got about here and he couldn't get over. The difference is if your hands are like a normal grip, when you go for your pull, you gotta go here, and then it's really challenging to turn over, right? But if you get the false grip, which is deep down in here, when I go for my pull, I'm already on top of the rings. So that's a big difference as opposed to here, trying to get and getting stuck where you did. So let's start off with this position and then give me 2 false grip pull-ups. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable, but thumb will still go around and then get deep in there. That's a solid false grip position. Nice. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put this box over here, start working on some transitions. We are now gonna work that false grip, and just to get a flow for the transition, I'm gonna have him hold the false grip and then jump to the bottom of the ring dip. Let's get 2 or 3 of those. We're starting to now replicate what it's gonna feel like and train in his brain to just jump to the bottom of the dip. Land in the bottom though to replicate that. Yep. Just think about more of a jump than actual pull. And just think about maybe nose to toes. Nose and then look at your toes. There you go. Get all the way in. You can put your feet flat.
All right. You here?
Yeah, and get all the way into that bottom dip position. Why don't you just come give me a 10-second hold here just to feel that out. You're strong enough for that. Yep, and just sink down to the bottom. What's up guys, wanted to quickly interrupt the movement tutorial to remind you to smash that subscribe button and like this video so we can continue to put out content that's gonna help you move better. And if you're a gymnastics guru and wanna get better at gymnastics, after the video, down in the description below, we've got a link to our gymnastics programs that'll help you most optimally improve your performance. Let's get back to it. Wow. And just feel that out. Now do 2 of those jumps, what we just did. From here? From the bottom. So go down and then jump to the bottom. There you go. Do it again. Jump to the bottom. Solid. So start to visualize that's what's gonna happen. Good. Now it's gonna start, we're gonna make it harder before we start to actually kip. So now I want you to get used to the pulling strength that it's gonna take to rip into the bottom of your muscle up. So now we're gonna put your feet up and you gotta pull pretty hard here. Pull nose to toes. Pull, you're gonna pull harder than you think. On my heels? I'm not sure. All right, extend your legs a little bit. All right. So all we're trying to do is now, a lot of times when people want to start learning a skill, they think that it's all, I have a big kip, I can do it. You want to develop strict pulling strength first so that you're not prone to injury and you have the strength to stabilize in that position. So this is actually a pretty challenging drill on strength. So when we start to kip, it's just going to happen. So feet on wall. And then, like I said, eyes are up and then nose to toes, big snap. There you go. Nose to toes. Get up there. Yes, good. Good, take a break. That's a lot better. What was the difference in the first and the second, third rep?
Well, I realized I just got to get to that position. I'm not thinking about locking my elbows out. Clearly that's going to be something in the
Give
next
me a
phase.
band. You give me a band.
So, yeah, so it's a matter of just getting to here.
That's the hard part. Once
felt
you're
like I
up,
had
it's
to
going to
get-
happen.
I felt like I had to get
Thank you.
extended, but yeah, if you get explode from the bottom, that was the difference,
Yes.
for sure.
So now we're going to wrap a band on. Adam, you're going to put this in. You're just going to start. This is going to be a little bit easier now and just start to grease the groove, we call it. You'll get in here. And now you're still going to maintain that false grip. And you're just going to kind of feel what that feels like to start to get that flow and get that transition. Keep that false grip though. So now we're going to start to work that mechanics and start to get the skill. It's a little bit easier with the band. And now we'll start to jump up there and put that under your butt. There you go. Still maintain that grip.
You got to keep that around your hand or leave it around
Yeah, put it in your hand. There you go.
Hair off doing it, right?
False grip. And you're going to be out in like a little L. There you go, legs off the ground. Go for it. Give me that transition harder. Yep. Do this one without your legs off the ground. Give me your legs in the air. Go for it. Yes. The difference is that transition's got to be really fast. Some people like to think about if you were the Hulk and you had to rip your shirt off, you got to really pull and rip. Nice. Let's take a break. We'll hit that one more time. So the transition part, if you have your ring, if you have the hands out, you go here, you can pull a little bit further because they're out and then come in and then rip, like you're going to rip your shirt off because you got to pull aggressively to land into the dip. Let's give that another go. Give you one good one. Yes, good. Take a break. Solid. So it's evident that he's got the strength. Now we've worked on some of the skills in the transition. We're going to start to get back onto the rings. All right, you're going to take a break and you're going to watch his mechanics. So whenever I hop up on the rings, I want you to think about knees up, kick to get your first kip. So we're going to mount, knees, kick, and then we'll open up. The problem is going to be getting that second swing, but we're just going to kip first. So this just helps you get that first initial big kip. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get on the rings and then start to get your momentum up, 5 or 6 kips, and then go for it. You want to get that big kip and then snap. So first thing we'll do is the knees up, kick, and then you're going to take a break, and the next thing we'll do is we'll start to increase. Knee raise and kick it out. Straight arms. Just gonna give me knee raise, kick your legs out, and then stretch.
All right. Knee raise.
Kick, and then give me a big kick, and then rep. That's it. Do that 3 times. We're just working on the kip. Yep. One more time. All right. Loosen that kip a little bit. This will help you out. Keep your arms straight. I want you to think about, you're gonna go knee, hip, and then a little pull. Knee, hip, pull. Knee, hip, pull. Knee, hip, pull. So on the knee part, I misspoke. On the kip, you're gonna think about doing knee raises like we do on the bar all the time, but then you're gonna squeeze your glutes, and that's the hip part. So I got my kip, knee, hip. knee, hip. And then you can see that big hip drive. My hips are at the rings. After that, I'm just going to have him do a sit-up, and then he's going to be there. So one more time. Hit your kip, get your knee up, and then pop your butt. Don't do the muscle up yet.
Okay. He has to warn me. So I try to go full bore. That hook grip or false grip.
False grip. Knee kip. No hip drive. You did a great knee raise, but you didn't extend your hip. That's better. Let's take one step down, come on the floor. So this is a drill, and this is very common when people are trying to learn that kip. This is gonna help teach him and you to pop up with your hip. So come down on the floor next to me. Visualize what we are on the rings. So we just did our knee drive up, and now we're gonna pop the hip. Yep. We just did our kip, the knees are up, pop the hip. That's the same thing that you're gonna do, and that's what's gonna get you up to the rings. So now watch that same hip drive here. My knees are up, and then that's my hip drill.
So are you pulling your arms this way?
It's a slight pull.
Slight, okay.
Don't worry about the false grip right now. Just give me that good kip.
All right.
Yes! Nice, good. Take a break, and then the muscle up's gonna happen next.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a slow learner.
No, this is all, you're right on target. So what I want you to think about now, we'll probably do one more set where the hip is up. Take a break. So I'm gonna have him do this. We're gonna do the knee hip. I'm gonna have him take a break. And then I want you to think about, hopefully the knee hip is there, and just think nose to toes. So he's gonna go knee, hip, nose to toes. And when you do those mechanics, even for me going through those drills now, that was my best field muscle up in a while. Just because doing all of those drills.
Okay. This regular grip for right
now. Now let's go back to it. As you get stronger in the ring muscle ups, you can lose the grip because you have such a great kip that you'll pop over. But to make it a little easier in the beginning, that false grip will help you.
Okay.
Knee hip, yes, that's perfect. Take a little break and then knee hip and then just go look at your toes.
I'm gonna try to do it one time without the false grip because my
Yeah.
hips hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, it can be uncomfortable. Let's get it right here. It's a good hip drive. All right, take a mental break here. Think about all of these drills we did over here when you were ripping right there. Because your head and all that is above the rings. Now you got to do a really fast sit-ups, and you got to, just like we did over here, you got to rip your shirt off and get into that position. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, those aren't fun. Very common. All right, you gotta pull hard on your dip. The kip is there now. Now you gotta rip it and you're there. Big kip.
Knees up or feet up first?
Just, you don't overthink that part now. You know how to kip. Don't worry about the false kip. If you have a big enough kip, you'll be all right. Just we do kips all the time, just like our toes, right?
Yeah.
The only difference is the back half. Don't think about the start so much. You're thinking about this dude here. You know how to kip.
Yeah.
So don't think about that. Just think about do whatever you think to kip, and then the knee, hip, that part is what matters now. And you can lose the false grip. You're tearing up there. You do a big enough kip and rip, you're there. Kip and rip, baby. That's what I'm gonna title this video. When you kip, this has to happen first. You gotta go through here first. Yep. That's gotta happen first. Yep. It's okay, I can cut some of this stuff out, but you're there, you're backwards on your kip. You can't start a kip going backwards. You have to feet in front first. It's hollow, arch, and then knee, hip, snap. You're so close.
It helps me to pull really hard at the bottom too. Pull really hard when you're at the bottom of your pull.
Remember these. You have to rip it to get there. But you don't skip the hip part. Get the knee, hip. You don't need gloves. Just just grab them up there, baby. You're right there, man. Let's go. You're close, dude.
Yeah, like right there.
What do you think you need? I think you're one that a boy,
like
let's
right
go to do it, because you're like on our first drill when you were like, how do I do this, and then you went like this, and then you were in the bottom. That's what you're skipping. Get those hips to the ceiling and then rip it. Come on, Ray. Come get you 2 reps over here on this band.
All right.
You're doing great. Muscle ups are hard. Start to build that confidence in your head. Rip it hard. Don't worry about the grip too much. Just gonna have to pull hard. Yes, you're capable of doing it. You got the strength.
My man.
Attaboy. Now get up on the rings and do it, man. Can't neglect the kip though. Let me get one more visual. Watch the hip drive. That's one thing that you're not doing actually. When you start, you're here. I jump and leave the ground. I'm off the ground. I got my kip. So as soon as I start, I jump into my hollow, arch, knee, hip. Come on, man. Missing the hip.
Yeah, it didn't. You're right.
Hip. Overcoming this is challenging, you know, it's a lot in your head. Camera pressure doesn't help sometimes, but you're doing a great job.
Didn't tell me he was going to put me on the spot today.
Hey, listen, that last rep was extremely slow. You gotta be fast and you gotta get it. The mechanics are there. Hip and pull. Ooh. Yes, it was. Hips, nose to toes. Right here. Nose, look at your toes. I'm not going to beat you to death, but you're so close. I want you to get it.
I know.
You don't get. Don't worry about that grip, Adam. Just grab it normal. If you kip big enough, you're fine. That was better. What does this movie remind you of? Again! Come on, Ray. Let's go, dude. You're there. Let's go, man.
Not ripping hard enough. My timing's all off on my kip.
What do you want to do? You want to keep trying, or are you done?
We'll try a couple more.
Katie, thank you for I know your arms are probably burning. Check it out.
No,
You're so close. The false grip, guys, is to teach. The false grip initially is ideally to be able to teach people strict pulling strength first. But when you're trying to establish kipping and those things, we want to learn false grip mechanics. But if you're trying to do that when you're kipping, that's really, really very challenging on your wrist. That's why his wrist is ripping. But if you have a good enough kip, Adam, and you get that big hip drive, knee, hip, you got to think about the floor drill. When you're popping your hips, my whole body is there. Knee, hip, and then I just come down to the bottom.
That's it.
You see. Ooh.
oh my gosh.
Maybe
It's like so
come feel this out for about 2 or 3 seconds. Just feel it out. Knee, hip, and then get ready to be strong. Faster hip. Hip first.
There it was.
If I can just hold that false grip, man, I know I can do better. That transition's a lot easier.
Yeah,
Hold the false grip.
I think you're skipping your hip, and then it's got to be a fast. You do your hip, you're patient, and then it's nose to toes. Hip, rip.
It's a really hard pull.
It's a hard pull.
On the hip?
The hip. You're patient, and then you're just like we did on the box. You got to pull it hard.
I feel like it's so close, man.
It's gonna happen. It's like literally right there.
Take a second to just visualize catching it, because this is what you look like, Adam. Every time you do it, you're here, and then you kind of get out of it. You're about like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think, from a coaching perspective, is that you're probably here, but you need to pull back and look at your toes. And you got to believe in yourself that you're about to catch it, because you don't want to catch it and then get squirrely. You got to get there, and you're going to be stable.
That was it.
Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about.
Yay.
That was it. I'm
Way to
glad
go,
you
man.
got it up.
For more progressions, for more tutorials, to get better at all movement skills, you can see it takes resilience. Let's see if we can get it again right here. Hey! Takes practice, takes perseverance. Keep training hard. I'll see you guys on the next one.